talking to people who lost and then miraculously found something invaluable in their lives, like our next guest, Roman Balassaitis. For nearly a decade, Roman was lost, you might say, inside the foster care system, bouncing from home to home, hoping, like so many other children, to find his forever family. But early this year, at his 18th birthday, as it was fast approaching, his hope started to fade. And that's when a Florida couple set off on a mission to officially make Roman a part of their family before time ran out. Take a look.
We first met Roman in 2018 when he was 12 years old. He was at the time living at a group home that we were volunteers at, and he just came to stay with us, and it was a really nice time together. 9 or 10 months after he was placed with us, he started to have a really hard time just adjusting to family life. So he expressed to his caseworkers that he did not want to stay with us. And it broke our hearts because we knew, caseworkers knew, everyone knew he wanted to stay. And it just did not feel real when he left. A few years later, Roman reached out to Hallie, our daughter, on social media, and we reconnected. A few weeks later, he came over for a weekend, and it was obvious he should have never have left. We knew pretty much immediately that we wanted him back into our family somehow.
When kids like Roman, who've had a lot of instability and trauma, don't get adopted, sometimes that can be a final nail in the coffin. When Roman decided to join our family, it became a race against time to make it official before he turned 18. It came down to the wire. We were all getting very concerned we wouldn't be able to get it done in time.
Everybody was feeling it.
Yeah.
He was feeling it, we were feeling it. I mean, the tension was rough.
That is a lot to intake. And Brad and Renee Balassaitis and Roman join us now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, boy. Renee, take me back to 2018. Roman wasn't ready to be adopted. He was only 12, so it's an emotional roller coaster in anyone's life. I read this quote where you said you felt like you were losing your future son.
Yeah.
Explain that.
So we had about 9 or 10 months of the honeymoon period where most kids in foster care have in a new placement. Not usually that long though. And so around that mark, when we were challenging him to dig a little deeper for healing, he just was not ready. Yeah. He decided he didn't want to be around, you know.
Do you remember that time in your life,
I
Roman?
do.
You remember it? What did it feel like for you at that time?
I didn't want people to tell me what to do, and I want another family to
leave.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's a fear of being rejected, so you reject. And we see that a lot, Brad. You know, by the numbers, somewhere around 30% of foster kids end up homeless after aging out of foster care. That's 1 in 4 end up incarcerated because they are on the streets. They have no one. They have no family. So when you talk about the race against time, he came back into y'all's life just before he was about to age out. That's
Absolutely.
Added pressure.
Sure.
But you seem like you were ready for the challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of think that, you know, we didn't grow up with that kind of trauma. And, you know, I think back when I was 18, it would have been very hard to be on my own with no kind of support. How much harder would that be for somebody who's had so much trauma and...
Because in 4 years, Roman, you lived in 19 different places?
Yeah,
in 4
I did.
years. And you knew this going in. What was the goal? I mean, he comes back in, you know, Roman, you reacquainted with your daughter on social media. Did you feel like, okay, this is going to happen this time? What was your feeling when you reached out on social media?
Over a couple of years, I wanted a family to move in and fought to home. That was fun. So I was thinking, I want a family now, and I was ready this time.
Yeah.
So I find her Insta, and I text her, can I come over one weekend?
Oh, you said, can I come over one weekend? When she told you he'd reached out, did you see it as, I believe in signs, but also real life? I mean, he wants to come back, but you knew his age.
I knew his age, and he was actually in a different placement that was more permanent. So we didn't want to disrupt what was going on, possibly. So we were being very cautious and being appropriate, you know, but it was wonderful having him back, and it was quickly becoming aware that where he was.
How many kids do you already have?
Well, 8.
It changes frequently.
There are questions that you ask that you don't expect to be a trick question.
That is with us.
But that is with you because you have how many kids right now?
Well, 9 total.
9.
4 under the roof is how I term it. Under the roof right now, 4.
4. And so right before last month, the day before you turned 18, y'all gathered at a courthouse outside of Jacksonville, Florida. And as I understand it, like minutes to spare,
Right.
you were
Adopted.
I mean, we call this show, the rest of the show, Lost and Found, because you really thought you'd lost him.
Oh, be grieved. I grieved
grieved.
harder. Oh, yeah. Every foster parent knows you go through, we sign up to grieve. We sign up to let go because we want them to be able to go back to their biological family or, you know.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, if they stay, great. But we get used to saying goodbyes a lot. This goodbye was different because we knew there was not going to be reunification.
Oh.
And to let him go to just another foster home was just, I mean, it just was really rough. And I really thought, oh, within a few weeks he'll be back. And he wasn't, and that was really rough on me.
All those years passing and wondering where he is he okay? And now you're here, your family. You officially changed your last name. I love that. And I know that you love fishing, right? You really love outdoor sports and fishing. So to commemorate this new chapter of your life, we got a little something special for you. Now, this is your rod and reel, but right here, let me turn it to the camera.
Oh.
These are your new initials. So, they say you never leave home without certain credit cards. You never leave home without your name because this is your name and your family. So now go have some fun fishing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you have it. We are so, holiday season, it's always about reflection and family. This is so beautiful. And thank you. Obviously, he thanks you, but thank you for not giving up on him because this story, other people will see it.
We hope.
Other people will see it, and they won't give up on that kid who's passed over. So thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy the holidays. Go get some big ones, okay? I want to see a big one.